because when I was telling friends that I was coming to Liberia, they were doing Google search and they were telling me
I was just about to ask about that.
all kinds of negative things,
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for being so consistent. In today's video, I am going to be having a sit-down interview with one of the professors at Tubman University here located in Harper City, Maryland County. She's Prof. Iona, but she's going to tell you more about herself and what she does here at the Tubman University. So, hello, how are you doing?
Hello, it's a pleasure and a joy to meet you and to be interviewed by you. I've watched some of your YouTubers and I'm impressed because I'm into telling the story and of our people, and I'm impressed that you've done a broad thing. Welcome to Maryland County, the land of sunshine and happiness.
The rain has been falling.
I know, but it's still a land of sunshine and happiness.
It is.
Welcome to Tubman University.
Thank you.
Where we aspire for excellence and quality in what we do, and to offer our students the opportunity to engage in the 21st century educational process. I am a faculty and a professor in the College of Health Science, the Department of Nursing and Midwifery. I've been in Tubman since 2010 when I was recruited to help develop a baccalaureate nursing program at the university. And that's much. I teach several courses. Nursing research is one of them. Introduction to nursing, professional nursing, adjustment and ethics, and community health nursing.
Wow. I mean, I stand a woman who can look this gorgeous and be all kind of smart. So that's amazing.
It is. I give all that to
God.
To God. He has been an awesome support of what I do.
You have been consistent as well.
Yes.
I believe that God does half of the work,
okay,
and then we're supposed to do half of the work.
Absolutely.
So you put in the time, you did your best, and then God showed up, and then He completed
showed
everything.
Yeah, because when I came to Liberia in 2010, it's my first time traveling to Liberia.
Wow.
And 8 months into the journey, I knew that this was where God wanted me to be. And so 13 years later, I'm still here. I am the founding chair of the Department of Nursing, setting the tone for what has gone on and what will go on. I am engaging in research, which is one of my passions. And we're looking at a group of myself and a group of my colleagues through the big support of ZIZ, one of the international NGO from the German government. We are doing a piece of primary research that's looking at anemia and dietary diversity among pregnant women in Maryland County. That's our hope. We're just in the phase of developing the proposal and getting to start. We're hoping to implement sometime in October, November, given
how fast things will be
yes,
done.
I'm about solution.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you came to Liberia in 2010.
Yeah.
Where are you originally from?
Well, originally, I always tell people this when they ask me. I'm originally 200 years removed from Ghana. You're looking so serious when I say that. I'm a part of the slave experience. I was originally born in Jamaica. Spent most of my growing up years from the time I was 8 to was 16 in England. And then my parents migrated to the U.S. So I've done most of my education in the U.S. And coming from parents who are Pan-Africanists, right? Instilling us that our education is not for us. It's for family, for community, for nation, and for race building. I don't know if you understand what that means.
I do. People always say when you learn for your family, you learn for your country, your community.
Right. And so that's the story of in in 2009. And so I grew up always having understanding about my role as a person of color, secondly as a woman of color, uh, um, to give back, to, to be selfless. My dad and mother were not educated. They were one nurse aides and security guard. As a matter of fact, my father was illiterate, but he was a photographic memory. For me, he was the most intelligent, brilliant man that I know. Okay, harsh, hard, strict, but committed to understanding our role as part of the children and ancestors and descendants of the slave experience. So I went to school, graduated from Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn, New York. Went on to go to NYU to get my master's, and then postgraduate degree in education supervision and management at Long Island University.
Amanda.
In Brooklyn again. I've always committed to developing. I'm a program developer. I'm not necessarily somebody that should manage programs, but I love to develop programs that serve the real needs of people. So for almost 15 years, I worked with the Board of Education, the Adult and Continuing Education Division, where I developed their health career programs, LPNs, technicians, EMT, nurse aide, etc., etc. Then in 2003, I got an opportunity. No, I'm going back, you see, I tell you. And I'm an alumni from Medgar Evers College, and they needed faculty to teach a course that take a look at culture and healthcare related. And I taught at Medgar Evers for from 1998 to about 2-3 years. And then I got an opportunity to teach at Medgar Evers College, one of the most diverse community colleges, which often reminds me of Tubman University, because you have a diverse population, although they're within Liberia there.
The call you received
The
from
call
Dr. Luckett.
I got a call asking, somebody had submitted my CV, and he was asking me if I was interested in coming to Liberia to help develop a baccalaureate nursing program. My mom had just passed, and I guess I had no reason to be in America. I have two kids, son and they're grown on their own. So I mulled over the whole thing, and the friend who had done it was in his doctoral program, and she had, without telling me, captured my CV and submitted. After I got this call, I called, I said, "You're the weirdest thing." She says, "Yes, I know. I knew you wouldn't submit your CV because I just don't do those things, okay? I don't know why." So I did it, and I knew you've been to Africa, you've been to Ghana, you've worked there a little while, and you like doing things like that. Because I developed most of the program. I developed the program for LaGuardia credit-bearing LPN program. Okay, and I've done a lot of other work. Mm. So I make a long story short, Dr. Elizabeth Davis Russell, who was the first president, called me and interviewed me over the phone. And I think what convinced me, because when I was telling friends that I was coming to Liberia, they were doing Google search and they were telling me
I was just about to ask about that.
all kinds of negative things, and so she called me and we had about maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes interview over the phone, and she was very, very, very open, honest about if I accept the job, what I would be coming into Liberia, going through 14 years of war, and everything was destroyed, and I would be coming to help develop a nursing program, work with Dr. Lucky to develop a nursing program. But what impressed me more than anything is when she kind of summarized everything. She said, "You'll be coming to join us, right? As we build a plane, that as we are flying a plane that we are building. We're flying the plane while we're building it." Now, I said to myself at that time, anybody who will fly a plane while they're building the plane is serious and is committed to whatever
You're working on.
they're working on. And that, I think, more than anything else, hooked me.
And you came to Mama Liberia.
And I picked up everything and came to Liberia.
So when you came to Liberia, did you come straight to Maryland County?
Yeah.
So how was it like settling in when you just came?
After 4 days on the road, and people used to complain about the road, how bad it was. It took us 4 days to get here. I was covered in mud. I landed, arrived at the administrative building. I never forgot it. Full of mud. Dr. Russell and the VPA at the time, Dr. Elizabeth Cavalla, greeted me and said, Dr. Cabo, and there was an American couple here, Robert Jones and his wife Patricia Jones, and they greeted me and she said to me, Dr. Lucky had to go back to Nigeria because his mom got sick, and he's not back. You're going to run the college.
Your
And
first day.
The 30th I landed. The first day of class was the 31st.
And you're already managing in college.
Yes, I was already doing that. I had no idea. But like I say, we serve a mighty God, and He don't take you into situation without preparing you before and providing the resource
He puts you in a place he knows that you can handle.
you can handle. I have to tell you this story. When I was leaving Monrovia to come to Maryland, the then VPA told me I was going to come to a hotel-style living. Okay, but my friends, some friends of mine, had told me to bring everything, and they packed me sardines, water, all kinds of stuff, right? But anyway, I'm coming to a hotel-style living.
You're thinking, I don't need those things.
Imagine, right? I'm on ground. I get here, and I'm like, you're bringing up back to memory the first 5 years of being here in Maryland County. I love this county because it reminds me much of Jamaica, and because I didn't grow up there, I only visited it twice when I left when I was about 6, 7. Where my father, I think he's from Maryland County, he's from a place called St. Mary, and it's exactly like this, water surrounding, fishermen-dominated environment. So I fell in love with this place. So I was telling you, so I get to Maryland County the first night, right? We went there first, then we got taken to the place I'm going to sleep, right? Hotel style living.
Hotel, yeah?
They take me up 2 flights. I walk into my room. There's no bed.
There's no curtain.
I look outside and I saw a merry-go-round, and I don't know if you got a chance to tour merry-go-round. And I have all my stuff. I have everything, and I went on my knees and I said, God, if this is what you want me to do, please give me the strength, because I want to go home. This was like about maybe 8, 9 o'clock at night, right? The couple came and they said, oh, they're bringing a mattress, right? So I said, okay, let me go wash up because I'm full of mud. I go in the bathroom and water, no hot water. I'm like, okay.
Father, I'm ready.
I'm ready. All right, I prayed. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want, which is one of my favorite scriptures.
So,
Oh,
we're
my
about to ask
God.
about cultural shocks, so I think that was a big one.
Oh, that was what the cultural shock didn't come yet. Because you remember I'd spent some time in Ghana, so it wasn't as bad as this, but I worked in a village called Patrata. So there was, it was not like I was expecting luxury and stuff. No, I wasn't. I traveled several times to Ghana. The culture shock came the next morning when I was on the floor with nine Nigerian men. They were the volunteers. I think it was seven, because the other guy was downstairs. 7 or 8 Nigerian men. I'm on a female.
On the whole floor.
I'm the whole floor. And then there was Doctor, no, Doctor, I'm missing his name right now. He's my best buddy, my buddy. The dean of the College of Education was there. And they looked at me and I didn't exist. And they would walk around in their shorts or their towel, and they would dare me. It was they were like they became my good buddy and protectors. So, you know what I'm saying? But that I was just not used to that. Okay, but I adjusted.
Did they look good though?
Yes, they did. Two
Uh-huh.
of them are still are here. Uh, Reverend Dawudu, and you see, there's some talking and I'm missing names. But
But
anyway, that was cultural shock for me. But I don't think I really had a cultural shock. It was I can't explain it. It was as if I felt I'd come home.
wow.
I felt like there's a thing I learned about. It's like you have a aha moment. I don't know. You can't explain it. You had a moment as if you were here.
Deja vu.
It's not even. They say it's deja vu, but it's like there's a movie waiting to exhale. It's like ah. It was not easy. It was not easy. Uh, the local people welcomed me. I love it. My favorite place is Cavalla, right? I don't know why.
Cavalla town.
Cavalla. Uh,
The river.
no, the town, the
I was
village.
just there yesterday.
You wasn't there?
Yes, I visited.
It's beautiful.
It's so gorgeous.
Ah.
The trees. Oh.
The trees and the people. I used to spend breaks there because I didn't go home every year. Go back to the U.S. every year. I loved it there. I met Mr. Ward, the ladies. We did a couple of craft development projects there, and we had a project called the Integrated Village Project, where each college would do something to develop in their area, especially to develop a village, and then we would replicate it into other villages and towns. You know how that went. That's still it went well for a couple of years. We we people of color, we like to initiate things because Liberians think they have the hold on all some of the behavior that they exhibit. But I believe as people, we like to initiate things, but maintaining those things
Maintenance is a problem.
is a problem. And I think you young people will change that. Okay.
Yeah, change
Uh,
it.
uh,
So
I'm sorry.
okay, so what you mentioned earlier about your friends doing Google search about Liberia.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that about Africa in general, especially
Yes.
when they're coming from places like America or just
Right.
any part about Europe, because of the challenges here in Liberia. I mean, when I go online, even though there are so many Liberian YouTubers who are trying to showcase Liberia positively, like what I'm doing, we still see videos of the war, protests, and so many other things that are used to define Liberia. But I feel like we have moved on from that time and we're trying to progress. So it's amazing to see that you came to Liberia. You wanted to spend a few years, and you ended up spending 13 years, more than a decade, which is really good. And you're actually impacting Liberians and impacting students as well. So, what do you say about Africans coming back to Africa to develop?
I think they should come back. It's not for everybody, okay? But I always compare to my experience in the U.S. with Italians Americans. They'll be Italian American for centuries, living for decades, but they always visited their roots. Mm? Uh, and I can showcase hundreds of other groups from different countries who settled in America. I think what is unique about the American experience or the diasporan experience is because we are just waking up to the impact of what the slave experience has impacted us. And we're just understanding that impact. And not only the impact, we have lost our history. We don't know it. And we think everything good comes from the West or Europe.
I mean, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I was just reading about the modernization theory. And according to some of the theorists, in order for Africa to be developed, we need to let go of traditional practices and adopt the Western policies.
And see, they don't realize it should be Africa because some of those Western policies come from Africa.
Exactly.
And we need to, you see, there's a quote in the Bible, and I always tell my Christian colleagues that I can't memorize and tell you what verse to go to, which maybe the Lord will let that happen. But I can tell you from my readings, he says, he says to the people of Israel, teach the history, let them know their history so they do not repeat the mistakes. We don't have a good understanding of where we come from as a people, either who are born and raised on the continent, and or those who are from the diaspora. And until you know your history and come to grips with the positive and the negative, I think that when I hear the Liberian experience, my dad always talked about three countries: Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Ghana, as a part of these Pan-African chats. And so when I when I came here first, one of the things I wanted to have is a history of Liberia. Not that it didn't exist, that it's not being taught in balance. There are some traditional practice that needs to be
Let go of.
to let go of. But let's decipher what that means, okay? Let's look at the reason behind it. It's like when I was thinking about this center, natural cultural center, that's the kind of thing I wanted to have here. Looking at the herbal medicine and the traditional medicine practice that really is some of the practices harming our people. Not necessarily because it's so bad, it's the way the medicines are prepared with dirty water and stuff like that. And then I began to do some research. There's a law or policy on the books that says there should be a traditional or herbal person in a hospital collaborating.
That would
it's
be
the people.
amazing.
There is, and I think I even have the pamphlet. The idea we've got to look at some of the things we do, see how we can help modernizing it, and then marry it with the conventional, quote unquote, modern way of treating illness and diseases. There are herbs and different um, dietary practices that comes biblically, but also been used by our traditional people. How do we learn it and be able to scientifically research? We need research on that, okay? And so that's part of what the Natural Cultural Center hopes to do, beside developing what I call collective economics, where it's young people run it. I keep telling them it's their thing. You're going to do it. I just have vision. You run with it, and that's where my good friend and my good son here has taken it, and really he made it possible. Uh, why I stay? This is my home. A lot of times people ask me when the university's break and I don't go, they're like mad with me.
Because most of them want to go to America. People are like,
yeah, they're mad with. First of all, it's expensive to go. If you, it's stressful working here in the sense of some of the things that you have lost. So if I was in America, I wouldn't go necessarily on vacation. I would rest and enjoy family and a home and my community. You see, I don't know if it makes sense. And I'm not a rich woman to spend money to go for like 1 month all the way there. Okay, I'm trying to get my family and friends to come, and they would have during if COVID hadn't hit.
oh,
So,
okay. So are you ever going back to America to live there?
that's a $1 million question, and the reason I say that right now, that's not what God says I should do.
So
I
right
don't.
now.
I don't know, but that's not what I want to do. I think maybe I'll be. Maybe. I don't know. I can't answer that, but I know for right now.
Maryland County is your home.
Yes, people trying to get me to go to Cape Mount, to go to Magibie, to come to Monrovia, and I actually considered Monrovia once, and I was actually rented a nicer place to be there and to give up Tubman University, and I was in my bed asleep, and God said to me, "I know it's Monrovia, I know it has M, but that's not where I sent you." I'm serious. I'm not making it up. And I lost the renewal of that apartment. Things became different, and I came right back here. And when I'm here, as difficult it is, as sometimes isolated, because I can't get my fruits and vegetables the way I wanted, and to be around. Feel the breeze? You feel it?
I do.
Yes, it's beautiful. Um, and there's something magic about people. And when I say that, it's the common people. When I say common, not common, it's
Just the
ordinary,
locals.
the ordinary people, the wisdom they have. What I would like to see more research on the plants and the herbal benefits of some of the tree. I say this is the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of Eden. There's so much plants and things that are used by folks to heal that we don't know about. Um, I love the vision and mission of Tubman University. Committed to be. The idea was we were going to be a 21st century university comparable to any of the European or American university, Oxford, Harvard, MIU, yeah,
MIT.
MIT, like that. And I think we will be, given the vision, given the openness and the willingness to understand what a university is. It's a diverse community that brings in all different people with knowledge, wisdom, the best who are committed to molding and helping the next generation be the best for Liberia. I also believe, yes, I also believe that we need more technical, vocational education uh, that would be feeders into the university, right? Because in order to develop a country, I believe that it's the small business that do it. The market women, okay, the fisher women, traders, the cross-border traders, you know, the rural women. I'm very much a part of that. That's the group because my mother was a market woman. Uh, uh, that's what I believe.
That's a lot, and it's
And
really.
we need young people like you to tell the story. That's why I agreed to this interview, because if we don't tell our own story, somebody tells it from their perspective. Yeah, there's horrible things in Liberia. There is, because I remember Dr. Russell telling me there's boya killing in my interview, and I said it's not any different than
Someone
Charles
killing every
Charles Manson and the massacre murders, and you know we blow we blow. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but some of the negative things is far hyper than anything. Because if you sit and watch some of the news, you would never leave your house in the States. Here, it's the same thing. Um, we need to confront it. We need to address it. We need to talk about the fact that right now in Maryland County, the drug challenges are great. Our young people are being messed up with drugs, addiction. On the other hand, it is a global issue. Mm? But for us, the problem is that where do they go if we go and take them off the street? Where do we go for rehab? Mm?
Where are the
Uh,
centers?
yeah, my church, I go to a Harvest Intercontinental, which used to be Bethel. We're trying to work on developing some programs, and not work on program, but to mentor some of these kids that are in the, they're in their own little huts and stuff. They have their own little community up Cape, right? We're trying to work on that, trying to not accuse, but to mentor them. You know what I'm saying? Working along with with programs that they have at J.J. Dawson, but it's not an easy challenge. Okay,
It's a very hard
because
one.
some of our students, some of the people that are in the what they call the Zogos housing or places, or some of them were our
Students.
students.
Oh, that's tough
Yeah.
and sad.
So I'm rumbling now, but that is one of the things we saddens me. Our young men needs mothering. Our young girls need fathering. I don't know if you there. And so if we don't mind sharp, we become one-sided. We focus on girls' education, which I think we should, because we want gender equity. We want that, but we have got to balance it. One vacation I spent in Monrovia, it was a restaurant who was serving every month. It was during July month, celebrating independence. The different dishes from the different county. I had a ball. I gained a lot of weight, but I had a ball.
And that's all that matters.
Yes, I loved it. I can't remember, but it's been
So
nice.
I would recommend, based on some of the tours that I've done, you
Hmm.
should definitely visit Grand Cape Mount. You should visit Grand Bassa County. I
Yeah.
mean, they have beaches and they're really nice. So it's not like you're leaving Tubman University for first vacation. You visit, you're really going to have a fun time. And other counties
Yeah. I've
as
gone to
well.
other counties. I've gone to Grand Cru. I love Grand
Oh,
Cru. Oh
I'm
my
from
God.
Grand Cru.
Oh, I love Grand Cru.
Oh,
There's I love Grand Cru.
very, very beautiful. There is
Yes,
so much that could be done in
yes,
this
but not
county if we get like good roads,
good roads. That's
proper
it.
investment,
Yes.
because it's not possible, right? Maybe someone might have the money to come and invest in
Yes.
Marietta
Yeah.
County, but that person doesn't have the money to develop the roads.
Right. And that is the biggest problem.
I think that is
Okay.
holding people back from investing because it's beautiful. So
Develop the
many
roads.
beaches.
The waterway. That's another thing. The waterway,
Mm.
having boats that
Mm. I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking
Yes.
about the aesthetics. I'm thinking about how it's gonna give a lot of people jobs, how it's going to
Exactly.
impact lives, and it's also going to market Liberia so positively and have people coming from other countries and saying, "Oh, vacation time, I want to visit Liberia."
I want something simple, plain. So I guess I should like plug something for and Natural Cultural Center. Okay, but my executive director is here, so I will leave that alone. You asked me whether a question, and I would like to like leave you with this idea that God directs all I do. Okay, He has not told me to leave Liberia. My plan was to retire in Ghana because that was the country I went first, and I have a lot of uh, family there per se. I have sons that I have and daughters that I have mentored and guided, and that's where they want me to come. My adopted son, foster son, but has raised since he was 14. He's finished his master's, got a good job, and he wants me to come back to America so he can take care of me, or go to Ghana so he can, I don't know how come I'm here and what is the time I will leave you. But I've told Mr. Ward that if I was to die, God forbid, at this moment, I want to be buried in Cavalla. So I'm publicly telling folks.
That's just
Because, yes, I know. I know. I'm very emotional about Liberia in general because for me, it is like Israel, or it's like Maryland is for me Garden of Eden when it comes to the herbs and the plants and the fruits that's possible here, but is not grown often here, right? But I believe the struggle that Liberia is going through and has been going through is because people of color are stiff-necked, and we don't know when we are blessed. We don't know, we can't see the beauty of the tree because of the beauty of the forest, because of the trees, because tradition, tradition holds us down. We hold on to tradition, and we call it, you know, it's our tribal rights, so we call it, it's our ethnic rights. But if you, especially if a country so steep sometime in Christianity, and they're follower of Christ, if they were to study his ministry seriously, the uniqueness of all of the different counties is his is the uniqueness of his disciple.
Professor Ayona,
Yes.
it has been really nice having this conversation with you. I came here not knowing what I was going to get, how we're going to interact, because I didn't know much about you or the work that you're doing here in Maryland County. But after this interview, I want to say thank you for taking a chance on Liberia and coming here to help impact students, because the work that you're doing is going to go a long way. So thank you so so much, and Liberia loves you. The Guru people love you, and we appreciate what you're doing. So thank you so much. And guys, um, after watching this whole interview, I mean, you see, Professor Ayona has a serious love for Liberia and Liberians. And as a Liberian, this should motivate you to want to come back home to impact the lives of Liberians in Liberia. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you all for being so amazing. Whenever you're in Maryland, make sure you visit the Natural Cultural Center right here. It's opposite Tubman University. I'm gonna leave the director's number in the description box. Thank you all so much. Love you. Bye bye.